Did you guys see that woman talking about her father getting kicked out of the nursing home? Well, apparently the nursing homes are kicking out their Medicare patients. And she was like, why would they do that? And everyone in the comments was like, honey, this is what you voted for. This is Medicare cuts. This is the big, beautiful bill. And she was like, no, that's not it. Yes, it is. I work in skilled nursing. 90% of the residents that are in there, they are Medicare patients. These buildings stay open because of Medicare. They will close down. They will not care for your aging parents and grandparents for free. They will send them home to you. You will have to quit your job and stay home and take care of them. That means you're going to have to be the caregiver for your father, your husband, your kids. You're going to have to quit your job. You're going to do all this on half the income for your household. This economy is going to suffer greatly when these places start closing down. This is one of the reasons, this is the main reason why I did not want to rely on the U.S. for my income while I'm living abroad. The economy here is bound to crash.
This is what our shitty ass healthcare has come to, where my patients need medicine and supplies and their insurance won't cover it, and here I am spending my own money because my patient needs it, and he doesn't have any money and he can't work. And the insurance won't even cover what he needs. And I'm sad and I'm sick and tired of it.
Hello guys, welcome once again to the channel. I hope wherever you are, you're having a great time. Now we have seen a lot of things happening in the United States since Donald Trump took over the office in his second term. Many Americans have complained about his foreign policy, his trade policy. For example, we have looked at how the tariffs that he has been imposing on different nations have led to a lot of economic mishap on American people. And currently, there is this cry that most Americans are having, and especially white Americans. They are saying that living standards in the United States are becoming unbearable. Things that are happening there for them is not like what they thought it could be. They believe that voting President Trump would bring in a new leap of hope. They would have space to really have a better economy compared to what Joe Biden offered them. But then looking at what Trump is doing, many months into his second term, nothing is really responding in the best way possible that they would wish they could get. Here are some lamentations of how these Americans are crying out loud, and they are saying Donald Trump is doing them dirty. He is not really living up to what he promised he would do. He said he's gonna sort the economy, but looking at what economy is having right now, no positivity for them. They have nothing to smile about. Let's watch this, then come back and share our thoughts in the end.
I didn't care how things were affecting others until it affected me. Am I proud of that? No. We live in a very cruel world, and sometimes the only way to survive is by being selfish. We are all just out here trying to survive as best we can. And although we may have good intentions and we may be empathetic and we may be compassionate, we will always put ourselves first because we have to survive. And if that means making a mistake in my vote or maybe putting my trust in the wrong person like I did, then that's what it means. I will always put the betterment of my family and vote in ways that I think will help my family above anyone else.
Here's the problem with voting for your self-interest. I understand Maslow's hierarchy of needs. When you're on the bottom and none of your needs are fulfilled, you can only think of yourself. But here's the problem with that, is you voted for your self-interest. So did everybody else in the Republican Party. Think about that for a minute. You voted for your self-interest, but you don't have anything. Like, you don't have anything. Like, that's what it is. But other people, rich people, they have a lot. So of course they're going to vote for their self-interest because they have something. You don't. You need the tribe, right? The socialized healthcare, the socialized dental care, schools, firefighters, police officers, all socialized systems. Is it clicking yet? You voted against the tribe. You know, humans didn't make it on their own. We always existed in a tribe, taking care of each other. You could only take care of yourself if you have something. and you don't have shit.
Sad day in America when all we can afford is some ground beef. Work 40 hours all week and can't even afford a steak. Something going on. Come on now, Trump. Help us out.
Oh, hey there, bud. I almost missed you. Couldn't hear you over the sound of me munching on my steak. Yeah, it seems kind of interesting. It looks like you're asking for socialism. You're reaching out to the government to help you because you don't have steak money. You only have ground beef money. But you know what? Maybe you should try something. I have a strategy. Why don't you try pulling yourself up by your bootstraps? I think that might help you because isn't that what MAGA has said forever is get off the government tee, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Like, why don't you, sir, just work harder? Why don't you just work more? Why don't you work harder? Because I guarantee, according to your logic, if you work harder, you too will be able to have steak money and not rely on just eating ground beef. But, is that not possible? I bet if I ask you, you'd say you already work hard enough. I bet you'd actually say something along the lines of, I worked my ass off. Well, that's because that's what this country is. So many people are struggling right now to make ends meet. And it doesn't matter how hard they're working. It doesn't matter if they have one job or two or a side hustle or whatever the case may be. People are struggling to have the steak money. That is the point. But you cannot tell me in one breath, socialism is bad, don't go to the government, pull yourself by the bootstraps, and then come on this app and say, Daddy Trump, will you please help me? Will you please help me? I work so hard, I'm so hungry, I want some steak money. And that's not how it works. Maybe find those bootstraps and work a little harder at pulling yourself up by them.
Voted for Trump and I'm sorry. I am uneducated. I grew up in public school system. I believed anything a teacher and a principal told me, and I didn't question it, and I walked in a straight line, and I didn't use critical thinking skills, okay? I didn't read Project 2025. I have a disabled child. I'm a single mom of 3. I believed what he said in his campaigns, and I fucked up, and I'm sorry, okay? Now, we're wanting accountability across the board. It starts with the people like me that made a mistake. I'm admitting it. The first step to progressing in anything is admitting that there is a problem. There was a problem in my judgment. I did not do my due diligence in my research, and I voted in a system that I had not enough awareness and knowledge of until shit started hitting the fan. So if you come for me in the comments and you start all of this hatred, because what we have right now are the people that voted for Trump and that are hiding and that they don't agree, like me, like I was until I'm making this video right now. And then we have the people that didn't vote, and then we have the people that voted for someone else, okay? And then most of all, what we have are citizens of the United States, we the people, complaining that this administration needs to take accountability. We start by leading by example.
Hold on, what did you just say about Trump?
I said, Trump's a fucking liar. Inflation's going up. Gas prices hasn't really come down that much. Eggs, that's the funny one. The eggs. I'm mad, and I'm a MAGA man, okay? I don't see anything he's done.
So is it safe to say that the illusion has faded?
I think it has, yes. I was for him because, everything he said. He played right into my hands. He just told us everything we wanted to hear. That's what he did. I can't even stand to look at him because, he's just he's a con. He's a flat ass, nothing but a fucking con. They all, the right side, they say, oh yeah, the Biden side was so bad. Well, what's so good about the right side? He brags about doing something with our economy, but I haven't seen anything happen yet. That big beautiful bill is going to add, they say $2.5 trillion. It's going to add about $4 trillion to the debt. The big beautiful bill. Oh, what a joke. Remember what happened in the 80s with trickle down economics? Yeah. The filthy rich got richer, and us guys that worked for a living paid more taxes.
Okay, what the fuck is going on with food right now? This is literally 93.7. It's all organic or whatever, all grass-fed for $10.49 fucking pound. That's ridiculous. Even down here for $85.15, it's more. It's $11.50. You know that's organic or whatever. It's still, you have 96.4 for $8 a fucking pound. What the fuck's going on?
This coffee right here at Costco has more than doubled in price in the last 6 months. I know firsthand because I've been buying this coffee for the last 5 years. Super, super depressing because I actually love that coffee. It's like the best dark roast they had here, and it was such a good deal for the longest time at $9.99. These same mixed nuts right here, I was buying a few months ago for $12.99. We're talking about 50 to 100% price increases on these items. You guys probably know my two favorite things from Costco are the coffee and the nuts, so this is hitting me hard. So many imported products like the oil they have here, the rice they have down there, are seeing astronomical increases in price because of these tariffs. It's specifically because of these tariffs, because I've tracked these prices for a long time, and a lot of these prices at Costco are still going down. Now, Brazil produces more coffee than any other country in the world, and they just got hit on Wednesday with 50% tariffs, and Trump says they might even go higher. For most items here at the grocery store, even ones that are imported like bananas or cocoa or something like that, the price increases have seemed negligible. And the sad part is, even if the tariffs went away tonight, I bet the prices would not go down. Now, what are you guys seeing the biggest price increases on?
All grocery shoppers, listen up. Tomorrow, everything goes up 10 to 50% from the tariffs. If it's, you already know, from wine to fruits to meats, everything, 10 to 50% up is what the percentage is. So if you're a grocery shopper, I would stock up today on if you're a soda drinker or any type of liquors, wines that you like, cheeses, meats, anything that can be frozen, I would stock up today because as of tomorrow, everything goes up 10% to 50%. Things are about to be extremely expensive, and I have a feeling it's going to be cheaper to go out and eat. And I hate saying that, but in some cases it may be true. I kind of want to know what everyone thinks. What are we going to do with these grocery prices? I don't know. You guys leave me a comment. If you're not following me, do the thing. Let's interact together and engage.
People aren't spending any money anymore. They just don't have it. Do you have it? Do you have the money to go out right now and take a vacation? Because I don't have it. A lot of people don't have it anymore. Disneyland numbers are down. All the airlines, their numbers are plummeting right now. A lot of the airlines are in serious trouble right now. But the money's just not there. I'm sitting in front of a restaurant right now that usually has a waiting line that you have to go into. 6 months ago, you had to wait to get in there. Now, I can walk right up to the counter, order my food, sit down, couple minutes. The people just don't have extra expendable money. You go to the grocery store, you're going to spend $200 for 3 people. Who spends less than $100 in a week? Do you spend less than $100 a week? Please like, share, and repost this, but the money's just not there anymore. Return on investment to go to work, just not there anymore. The only people that are spending the big money inside the grocery store are the people with the cards. And I ain't got one. Do you got one?
What the fuck? What the fuck? $17.49 for 1 can of coffee in America. This used to be $11.99 a month and a half ago. Yeah. Are we gonna go uncaffeinated in America? Because of what the fuck? What the fuck? $17.49 for one.
If you think feeding your family is expensive now, just wait. So ground beef just hit its highest price ever in American history. The thing that most of us rely on for burgers, tacos, and spaghetti night, it's becoming a luxury. And it's not stopping here. The experts say that the prices are going to keep on going up and up. Why? Well, it's a couple of things. You got to mix a drought, high feed costs, reduced cattle supply, and corporate consolidation. That means fewer options, higher prices, and families having to make more tough decisions at the grocery store. Even basic meals are turning into a budget challenge. And remember, this is not just about beef. This is about the cost of living. It's another reminder that the average family is being priced out of normalcy. You're not crazy for noticing everything feels harder lately, because it is. And what's being done about it? Not much. Big corporations are raking in profits while you're deciding between milk and meat for the week. So next time you hear someone say the economy is doing great, I want you to ask yourself something. Great for who? Because it damn sure ain't the family that's trying to make tacos stretch for a week.
Well, the big beautiful bill just passed. Thank you, God. This country was getting way too fucking free. At least now the federal government can monitor and survey every single thing I do with AI and facial recognition and drones. Do you know how hard life has been without that? At least public funding is getting cut and healthcare is going to get streamlined, which means less coverage than there already is. At least poor people will die faster because they can't afford healthcare. At least schools will finally be safer. No, not from guns. Those are still allowed in there, but at least they won't have to talk about diversity or black people anymore. At least asylum seekers will finally get fast-tracked to deportation. Yeah, bro, this is the safest country on earth, but only if you're born here. At least when my health problems are misdiagnosed, I can blame it on a computer rather than a person. At least rich people finally get to be richer. Oh my God, do you know how hard they've had it? At least the federal government has way more power than ever before, because who the fuck wants to be free anyways? And finally, half the American workforce will finally be replaced by AI. Thank you, God. Who needs a living wage? What a beautiful country. Who would want to live here?
$17.33. That's how much I paid today for this coffee. I'm here and I'm just adding some numbers together and doing my budget, because you know what, today I asked my husband, where's the money? We're making the best we've ever made. Both earners, both incomes, good incomes and everything, and we don't have money. We're living paycheck to paycheck basically. So I put the numbers together and I decided to look at my budget. On June the 2nd, 2023, and I'm going to try to insert somewhere here the photo I took a shot of, you know, how much I paid for it. On June the 2nd, 2023, the same exact coffee was $9.92. It's almost doubled in 2 years. Of course, my salary hasn't doubled. My income has not doubled. It went up a little bit, but certainly nowhere near that. And I don't know where my money goes. Every month, I'm struggling.
So have you guys noticed while shopping lately, a lot of the prices are each now? Like the peaches are 78 cents each. I'm going to just walk the area a little bit and show you guys some other prices. The oranges always been by each, but look at the oranges, 97 cents each. I think that price kind of went up. Let's keep walking and see what else they changed from pounds to each. We already looked at the peaches. Let me see. These are each nectarines. They're $1.14 each. Plums are also each now $1.32 each. So when you guys are shopping, make sure you pay attention to the price, because a lot of items are each now $1.14 each for this white nectarine. Long as I've been in retail, a lot of time the prices are by the pound and not by each. So that could be a little tricky, because you might think you're getting a sale and you might think, hey, I'm getting this for 78 cents a pound, price is going down. But really, you're paying 78 cents each. You're paying $1.14 each. You're paying $1.32 for a plum each, per each. So make sure y'all pay attention, okay? Let's look at these pears. The pears are still per pound, and they $2.18 per pound right now. I don't think the apples went up that much though. I think they pretty much priced, you know, they went up a little bit, but not like, I would say even the pears and the items by each. Have a nice day, bye.
Is it tariffs? Is it price gouging? Look at these prices in my small hometown of Aurora, Washington.
I'm starting to think that Wegovy is going to go out of business. And not because it don't work. I'm just saying, you ever notice how, because of the inflation, how expensive it is to be fat in this economy? Like, not just living, but like to actively maintain a big bag. Back in the day, snacks were cheap. I could grab a family-sized bag of chips, pack of cookies, some soda, and still have change for a honey bun. Those were the good old days of budget-friendly gluttony. But now, nah, you can't do that no more. So these days, if you're still holding on to the big bag lifestyle, I just know you got money. I know you do. Why? Because the price of eating bad has gone through the roof. A bag of Doritos is basically a car note, and you need a credit check to get Oreos. It's actually cheaper right now to eat good food. Whole bag of vegetables is cheaper than a bag of damn chips. I got chicken thighs today cheaper than a couple of bags of Doritos would have been. While a single Little Debbie snack cake, it feels like it's $47. If you're still able to take in 10,000 calories a day, I'm just gonna assume you're either a millionaire or you've got a Costco membership and some prayer. Because in this economy, every extra roll feels like an investment portfolio, you know? What I'm saying is, it's not that Wegovy is about to cure obesity, but it's that inflation is gonna beat it to the punch.
Point, the groceries are just laughable. I'm so like offended by the prices that I actually have to laugh to keep from crying. This is what I bought for myself, not even my wife, just for me the next 2 days to eat, because I want to eat healthy before the holidays. I got some grass-fed ground beef, some turkey deli meat, some lettuce, cheese, tuna, carrot sticks, blueberries, almond butter, coffee, and I got a case of water under there, which is like $4. Do you have a guess on what this is? $86.77. How? This is for 2 days. Now, the berries and the almond butter and coffee are going to last me probably a week. So let's say $70 every 2 days. Just for me. That'd be $1,000 if I want to eat this healthy for the entire month, not including my wife. And what about all of you out there with kids? And of course, every few days I get the paper towels, the grocery bags, you know, bars of soap, and that is going to add up.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I see this every week when we go grocery shopping. And here's this lady saying it's not just Walmart, it's Publix too, it's Target, it's all these places.
So I'm at Publix right now. I got my little reusable bag that just fell on the floor. But how come nobody is talking about $7.29 for a bag of chips? We're all talking about eggs, but what about these $7.29 chips?
Does anybody else get physically ill whenever they go grocery shopping and they see the total when they're checking out? Like my wife and I, we have a family of 5, right? Me, her, and 3 kids. And then you throw in 2 dogs into that as well. She went grocery shopping the other day and she was like sick at the price. So like I checked the bank account and it's $550. And like that lasts us like a week and a half. So I don't even know how the majority of the people out there are even affording groceries these days. I think I'm gonna have to start like tricking on the side or something. Unless she starts selling feet pics, I'm not really sure what to do.
Did you guys see that woman talking about her father getting kicked out of the nursing home? Well, apparently the nursing homes are kicking out their Medicare patients. And she was like, why would they do that? And everyone in the comments was like, honey, this is what you voted for. This is Medicare cuts. This is the big, beautiful bill. And she was like, no, that's not it. Yes, it is. I work in skilled nursing. 90% of the residents that are in there, they are Medicare patients. These buildings stay open because of Medicare. They will close down. They will not care for your aging parents and grandparents for free. They will send them home to you. You will have to quit your job and stay home and take care of them. That means you're going to have to be the caregiver for your father, your husband, your kids. You're going to have to quit your job. You're going to do all this on half the income for your household. This economy is going to suffer greatly when these places start closing down. This is one of the reasons, this is the main reason why I did not want to rely on the U.S. for my income while I'm living abroad. The economy here is bound to crash. When you cut Medicare like that and these places close, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. The dollar is going to suffer. There is no forethought with these people. They have no idea what is happening.
I need someone to explain to me, like I am 5 years old,
how it makes sense that a literal doctor who went through undergrad, medical school, years of residency, and is a full-fledged doctor prescribed my son a life-saving medication that he needs for a diagnosis that he has received, and my insurance gets to say, no, he does not.
And hell, we're human beings. Help us. Give us what we need. We don't want to be the stepchildren anymore.
I am MAGA and a Christian.
I live in a super rural area in Illinois, and recently our local newspapers have started posting about hospital closures and how Medicaid and Medicare funds our hospitals and our nursing homes, and how there's a lot of fear surrounding Medicaid and Medicare cuts and possible job loss, possible department closures. And there are like about 100 MAGA in each post, and they're just like, show me the data. I want to see the numbers. Show me the financials. Like, they'll understand it. It's just so comical to me. They are telling you, we have already closed our OB department. We have already closed this clinic and that clinic. People are already driving an hour to an hour and a half for healthcare, especially women's healthcare or mental health. People are still in disbelief, like the newspapers, oh, you're just a liberal newspaper. Look at you, you've gone woke. It's not woke in a bad way to understand how these cuts and these policies impact us, especially in rural areas. Like, you have to wake up and face reality at some point that you voted for this, and now you're going to be impacted. Your neighbors, your friends, your family, we're all going to be affected by this. It's your fault. You have to open your eyes and realize that. You can't just live in denial. They're telling you they're going to close. When they close, are you still going to be in denial? No, you're going to blame it on Democrats somehow.
You do not get free health care. You do not get free health care. Do you think that people who are 28 years old that can work and refuse to work should get free health care?
Congressman, a lot's been talked about Medicaid, health care, etc. A lot of countries in the world, Europe, Canada, they have health care for the people there. Outside, just now you said, you don't want to see a lazy 28-year-old get health care, whatever. My point is, every working and retired American should be entitled to health care. Would you sign on or write up a bill for Medicare for all? We've got Medicare now. We can start rolling back the age 5-10 years at a time. Would you support that?
We can't afford that.
Yes, you can.
Looking at what is happening to white Americans right now, I think there is no helping them. They made this decision when they were presented with other alternatives that they were supposed to vote. They did not like them, and therefore they decided to vote Trump. And that is what has led to almost everything that we are seeing right now. Trump is failing and failing terribly. I'm sure maybe over some time he could get some leeway and have some positive results. But currently, as it stands, many Americans are complaining the economy is not doing as they thought it could because Trump tariff policies are hurting trade. In fact, we saw the other day when farmers were complaining, they were saying, how on earth can Trump implement tariffs to countries where we export our produce? Yet America does not have any ready market for the farm produce that we have. He also hit them with immigrant expulsion and immigrant deportation. This had negative impact on farmers. So all these things have had a ripple effect on the entire American economy as it is today. So there are different reasons why Americans are thinking that Trump is not doing what he's supposed to do. He's not really being the Trump that he promised to be because economy has not improved any inch. And that is a clarion call that most people are saying. If this is the reason why we voted for Trump, why is it that we are not finding the benefits of ever voting him? If anything, he's even making things worse. Is it that Trump is clueless, or his trade policies or even economic policies were not really well thought through when they were being presented to us? All that was presented was rosy affairs, and everybody thought that Trump was going to get in there and have his hands on deck. But looking at what Americans are saying in the social media right now, your guess is as good as mine. They are not happy at all. So many Americans judge Trump's economic performance against a stronger baseline from previous decades when wages were higher, manufacturing jobs were plentiful, and economic growth felt more evenly distributed. For older white voters, the late 20th century represents a period of relative stability and upward mobility. In contrast, many black Americans never experienced these eras with the same level as economic security due to systemic barriers. So there is that comparison where many may be centered to recent administrations rather than a golden age standard. So that is why you find that white Americans are asking themselves, why is it that black people seem to be doing well? They're not complaining so much as we are, because blacks have been used to these kind of situations. They have been persecuted, they have worked without any pay during slavery, they have been sidelined by mainstream government structures, and therefore all that they have, much of it comes from their own sweat, comes from their own conviction and their own fight towards getting a better thing that they can get. So if you look at them and the whites who have always depended on working government structures, then those who feel much disadvantaged are those who have depended on government doing well for them to have positive economic outcome. Economic dissatisfactions among white Americans often reflect sharp downturn in rural and small town economies, where industries like coal, steel, and auto manufacturing have struggled. Trump's trade policies and tariff wars sometimes worsened these declines, making economic pain more visible in majorly white areas dependent on such industries. Since black Americans are more centered in urban centers and service sector jobs, the direct blow from those specific industrial losses may have been felt more heavily within white communities. So we know, as just have been said here, that most blacks are concentrated in urban areas and their works are always service driven. But when we look at the blue collar economy, we have many whites working in that sector. Looking at the trade wars that Trump has had with different countries and the tariffs that he's been imposing left, right, and center, it is only evident that the people who are going to suffer from these tariffs largely are those who work in the industries. Majorly, we find that those who work in these industries and those who have depended on them for many years are whites. And that is why any impact on industrial growth is directly proportional to what is going to happen to those who are employed with these industries. And therefore, if there is a decline, if there are countries who have said that they are not going to invest in the United States because of the tariffs, that is going to directly affect industries. And those who are going to be directly affected are whites. Another thing that we must look at is the political expectation and disappointment. Many people had different desires when they were voting for Trump during this second term. A significant portion of white Americans, especially those who supported Trump in 2016, expected him to deliver dramatic economic revitalization. When promised manufacturing booms and wages surge did not materialize or were offset by firm bankruptcies, rising health costs, and inflation, some of these voters shifted towards a negative assessment. Black Americans who are generally more skeptical of Trump from the start may have had low expectations, so their views did not change as sharply. Yes, black Americans didn't think Trump was gonna have any positive impact to American economy. And therefore, when they're looking at what is coming out right now, they have nothing to really lose. In fact, it doesn't even affect them because they knew, and that is what they expected, Trump was not going to deliver anything positive. So looking at what is happening right now and the things that are coming out, it is only safe to say that blacks were right all along. Whites were not right because they didn't really have proper analysis and vetting of Trump and whether his economic policies would amount to much for them. In addition, some white Americans compare Trump's economic record to previous governments and feel his policies favored the wealthy and corporations at the expense of working class families. The 2017 tax cut, while boosting corporate profit, did not significantly raise real wages for many. For white Americans who saw themselves as the intended beneficiaries of Trump's America First agenda, the perception that they were left behind can feel stronger and feel stronger disapproval compared to black Americans who may have seen his policies as never aimed at helping them. Yes, if whites expected Trump to help them economically, the tax cuts that he had in 2017 and even those that he has proposed now, we are finding out that those who are favored largely are the wealthy. These corporate leaders do not really have a direct impact on the lives of American middle class, and therefore, looking at the majority who are the middle class, they are crying a lot because they are finding that the government does not in any way have anything to favor them. Trump might have different intentions with these cuts that he's proposing, but then looking at the immediate outcome of what Trump's economic output and the plans is giving to Americans, the only thing that they can say is complain about how unfair Trump's tax policies are to them. Another thing is, we must remember that in Trump's first term, COVID broke out, and there are a lot of things that happened that shaped economies of different countries from there onwards. The pandemic's economic fallout in 2020 heavily shaped perceptions of Trump's economic management. White Americans in suburban and small business sectors, many of whom had been economically comfortable before, experienced sudden losses in income, saving, and job stability because they had more to lose relative to their pre-pandemic situation. The downturn fell sharper. Black Americans, while hit hard by job losses too, had historically faced more economic precarity, meaning the expectations for Trump's economic performance may not have been as tied to preserving an already strong position. Black Americans, while hit hard by job losses too, had historically faced more economic precarity, meaning the expectations for Trump's economic performance may not have been as tied to preserving an already strong position. So, looking at this, you will be able to appreciate the fact that Trump and his economic output or economic plan, the things that is getting currently are not really positive. When we look at how America is performing currently, most people are crying because things are becoming more expensive. They are not able to afford certain things, and this has a negative outcome in their general economic output. Share your thoughts down in the comment section, and if you're watching us for the first time, please remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share. Thank you, and let's meet on the next one.